Hey, I want to try to give you some gift ideas, and this list is going to be long. I don't even know how many ideas we've got this year. We're going to go through them rapid fire. There'll be complete videos back in our history about these items, but today we're just going to go through them really quick so you can see a lot of options and see what you might want to get for your tractor lover. Let's start with some general purpose items. This is a grease gun from Lube Shuttle, link right there in the description. This grease gun is different than any grease gun you've seen if you haven't been watching our channel. This gun has different types of tubes. This tube is not empty, and I'm able to remove it. No plunger, there it is. You can put it right back on. You can change types of grease if you want. It's clean, it's easy to use, no plunger. Much, much nicer than a traditional grease gun. Finally, an improvement here. You can use several different types of greases. I use the LI 400. There may even be a newer, better one than that. They've got a kit that uses the G200 EP. It's fine. Any of these greases that they recommend is fine. While we're on the grease gun front, here's a LockNLube. This allows you to lock the grease coupler right onto the fitting or the zerk. And so you don't have to have two hands, right? You can use just one hand to do this work. This is available at a link in the description for my Amazon store, amazon.com/shop/tractortimewithtim. Another general item, no matter what brand tractor you have or what brand equipment, ISOTunes hearing protection. You've been hearing a lot about these recently from me, and that's because I wish somebody would have been as persistent when I was a child, when I was young and tough, I thought, and I wish I'd have protected my hearing more. Yeah, I'm losing my hearing now, but it's been better. I've slowed the loss since I started using these ISOTunes. Coupon code TTWT30. I believe that lasts till the end of the year, and it's the best discount you will find anywhere. It works on anything on the ISOTunes website. Link in the description, code TTWT30. I wanted to show you this last summer. I got to use a prototype version of this, and it works so incredibly well, but the company wasn't quite ready to go to production, and so I had to wait, and I had to wait till now. This is the coolest jacket you've ever seen, literally. Looks like just any other jacket, except it's missing a key point, right? It's missing the sleeves. Why would any jacket miss the sleeves, and why would I want to show you a jacket in the summertime? Well, here's why. Do I look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? Yeah. Look at this. It's got two fans, one on each side, and when you zip it all the way up, the cool air comes right out around your neck. And that's the reason that there's elastic on these, the sleeveless items here, right? And there's also elastic down here. That's the trick. You have to have it zipped up, but it cools, and it cools incredibly. I used this up in the rafters when I was doing electrical work this summer on the shop. Absolutely amazing. When I'm sweating, it brings that airflow and makes it feel like air conditioning. It is stunning. This is the best thing I've ever seen as far as keeping me cool. And I'm finding the heat bothers me more as I get older. So yeah, this is pretty cool. It's available in this color, or it's available in a black. Either way, tomahawk-power.com. Use code TTWT there. It's not cheap, but on the other hand, it allowed me to work up in those rafters when I just wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. The air is coming right out around my face. This is awesome. Look at this. Mine even says Tractor Time with Tim. It's got a battery that stores right here in this little compartment. It's a lithium battery. It lasts for a long time. And then there's a cable that runs to each fan. And the fan's one on one side, one on the other. It's a 4-speed. There's 4 different voltages, 8, 13, 18, and 24 volts. I find that I only run it on the second speed, the 13 volts. That's plenty of airflow for me. And with that approach, I don't know, I've ran it for 2 days without having the battery go dead. So yeah, it'll run a long time on a single charge. Let's hit a few 1025R specific toys. No, I mean gifts. Handles, actually it's not 1025R. I think these will go all the way up to the 3 Series loaders. You can get handles from 2 different places, either boltonhooks.com or heavyhitch.com. Code TTWT is valid at each place. Just slightly different styles, slightly different options. You choose which ones you like. Look down here a little bit now. We've got a step. This step mounts to the loader bracket here, right? It lowers your first step by 4 or 5 inches, and that makes a huge difference. This step is compatible with the mower deck, and this step has a tie-down bracket attached to it. You can get steps, again, from heavyhitch.com or boltonhooks.com. I believe the one with the tie-down brackets, you have to go through heavyhitch.com to get that. While we're on the subject of tie-down brackets, we've got more up here, right? Again, heavyhitch.com, boltonhooks.com have front tie-down brackets. These are very, very nice. Now here's some items that's not sponsored at all, but I found on Amazon, and I'll put links to our Amazon store here. I found these lights. We break off these lights often. In fact, Christy and I broke ours off within the first month mowing with our tractor, our first 1025R. These lights are less than half price from Amazon that they are from Deere. So they're not OEM parts, but they're just like them. So you can get these from my link at Amazon. Also, I found on Amazon a protective bracket like this. It's made just a little bit different than this one. It sticks out a little further, I believe, at the top and the bottom to do a little bit better protection on that. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. I would recommend that you get a light kit for up here. Now this is a little difficult because I've tried to find someone to make a specific kit for the 1 Series to mimic the kit from Deere, because this seems way too expensive from Deere themselves. And so far I haven't found anyone to do this. And the reason I want a specific kit is because there are bullet connectors right down at the bottom of the ROPS on both sides that are switched by the primary light switch. So that's really all you need to do for power, is connect to those bullet connectors. You don't need to add any additional switching. You just need to connect to those bullet connectors, and then you can mount your lights right up here. You can get any lights to work. You know, these are just standard LED lights. And most of them have a mount here that'll work on this, you know, on this bolt or this hole right here. Again, you need some sort of a cover to protect it. As far as a simple cover to protect your eyes, Artillian.com has one. They call them horse blinders, and they work very well. These don't stick out far enough on this side to keep it out of my eyes, right? So I can, that light, if I turn my head around a little bit while pushing snow or something, this light shines right in my eyes. The horse blinders from Artillian stick out further, and they work much better on that. This is a nice chain holder, or, well, any sort of a cubby hole from boltonhooks.com that attaches to an iMatch hitch. I've got a chain in mine. I've also got these little brackets that come with it. You can tell I'm not really using them, but they're meant to mount here and here so that you can attach, you know, a shovel or a hoe or something like that. Yeah, I don't use those, but it might be something you'd really like. This one's got a lid on it. I think you can get them with or without the lid, I'm not sure. But this is a nice addition, just a place to be able to carry something extra here. boltonhooks.com, again, use code TTWT. Hydraulic Top Link is an incredible addition to any tractor. I've noticed it more and more now that I have it on essentially all of my tractors. I use it just as a standard part of my tractor activities now. It helps to hook up attachments, and it just gives you a lot of variety. Even with a stump grinder, a lot of different things, you get that ability to quickly change the tilt of your attachment. You can get hydraulic top links at summit-hydraulics.com or at agristourusa.com. You can use code TTWT at either place. Summit probably has a little bit better price. Agristore USA probably has a little bit more selection, a breadth of selection. So you choose your spot for that. Now, if you've got a subcompact tractor and you don't have any rear hydraulics available to you, this is the most cost-effective version. This is summit-hydraulics.com. This one connects to the Power Beyond on your tractor. If you have a backhoe, you've got Power Beyond already, and all you have to do is connect it into that Power Beyond. If you don't have a Power Beyond kit, you can add it, right? It's $200 or less. You can get the Power Beyond kits from Summit, or you can get them from Deere or your manufacturer. whatever brand tractor you're dealing with. This is electrically controlled. That makes it much more simple to install than one that would have additional hoses to mechanical valves. Cost competitive. Again, use code TTWT for a discount. And you can get a front third function built in with this. This one I have all four routed to the rear. There's the one on the top link, but you can get this bottom one where you'd route it all the way to the front, and that combines and reduces your cost dramatically, right? Because when you put the front third function here, it saves an awful lot of money. So that's the most cost-effective way, is to have 1, 2, or 3 in the rear and this last one going to the front third function. You find that you'd like to remove your loader more often when you mow, for example, but you dread doing so much that you leave it on and it's in the way while you mow. Well, this is the solution. Those hydraulic hoses are so difficult to control on their own. This is a single point connector, and this one has 6 outlets so that your third function is also included here. The Deere one only has 4. If you don't have one at all, or if you have the 4 function one, check out this upgrade at discounthydraulichhose.com/TTWT. I don't know why everybody doesn't have one of these. Mowing with the loader on is painful compared to having that loader off. Your tractor feels, well, like it's nimble, like it's a lawnmower when you don't have these big loader arms in the way. I highly recommend this. In fact, I went to a lot of personal effort to get this 6-port designed. The Europeans did it to us on this one. You have to have a key to be able to raise your hood, right? Well, not after you get the little key latch accessory here from 3D Fusion Labs. Okay, very nice. It just makes it a simple push button like it ought to be. I'm sure this is highly illegal in the EU, but that's kind of crazy. So yeah, very, very handy, inexpensive. This is a very nice little feature. They would call it a stocking stuffer, right? But I like that. Now, some people are having trouble with their hood latch breaking on the newer ones. Mine's old enough, I don't think that it's going to happen. But they redesigned this a little bit on newer machines. And 3D Fusion Labs also has a replacement bracket or an add-on bracket to strengthen this so that that particular latch won't break off. Check it out. You can use code TTWT for a discount. Let's look at some inexpensive options for your front end loader for the bucket itself. This is for snow removal, the Edge Tamer. Somebody calls them skis, and they kind of function like that, right? These are the original from two brothers, R2 Manufacturing, Ryan and Rob, edgetamer.com. This size, this style will fit any subcompact or most compact tractors. Sometimes if you have a replaceable cutting edge, you have to go to a higher end version. You can talk that over with R2 Manufacturing before you order if you have a larger tractor. They do have a set of edge tamers to fit your tractor. We've shown them on a Case 580 backhoe, for example. They're bolt-on, they're totally different style. They offer them in 3-inch widths, 4-inch widths. My preference is to have 3 of them on the bucket. That way I can catch any hump in the middle, okay? And I prefer the 4-inchers to the 3-inchers. But each to his own. And they also have a poly skid that they offer for the bottom of these, just a shoe to help you keep from scratching your concrete. I've not found that to be a big deal, but some people do. So you can get that skid shoe if you'd like. edgetamer.com, use code TTWT. Now this is a way to make your bucket a lot more useful. Let's say you don't have a grapple. You might not even have a set of forks. You can put this hook, all you have to do is drill 2 holes on each side, and you can put that hook right there. And typically you want to put it right in front of the lift bracket right here, okay? And the hook is pointed this way, and then you can loop a chain around the object that you're carrying and loop to another hook on the other side, right? These are inexpensive and incredibly flexible. Yeah, boltonhooks.com, this is the original. This is, in fact, these are forged in the USA. This is the only 5/16 hook that's actually forged in the USA right here. Ken went out of his way to find a place that he could get these forged in the USA. So if you like US products, this is the one to get. Mine has the optional backup plate. You don't have to get that. Probably for a subcompact tractor, you're not going to have enough loader strength to really break your bucket. But if you're really nervous about that, or if you want to have a little extra strength, you can put this on the back side, right? And that'll spread that load out over a larger area here, right? These buckets are pretty thin, so it's at least in theory possible that you could tear off one of these hooks, but you'd have to be pretty mean with it, even with Johnny X. Now this is the heavy hitch tooth bar, and it's easily removable. There are just Allen head screws in the top of it. This is in its work clothes. Izzy's showing it off here for you. Having a tooth bar like this will dramatically increase your ability to dig with the loader bucket. And the reason is pure physics, right? You've either got 53 inches all the way across here that has to cut into the dirt all at the same time, or you've got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got 14 1/4 inch wide points that have to go into the dirt, right? And so you can push those into the pile, and about the time they break this open, then the rest of your bucket can go in. I like that it's removable because I don't like it on at all times. There is another approach which has it essentially permanently mounted, and it's not quite as aggressive, the other one isn't, but I personally like this one the best. So heavyhitch.com, use code TTWT. We've talked about the Summit kit. This is a kit from Otis Innovations that mounts to the top of an iMatch hitch. And I'm using it to mount my Summit kit, but you can use it to mount anything you want. Just provides a mounting option. A lot of these cab tractors don't have much space back here. They don't really have a good opportunity to mount anything like this. So that's what I'm doing here. You can check that out at otisinnovations.com, and you can use code TTWT there. Otis has a second product, actually their original product, which is the axle vent. This allows you to drain the pressurized air out of the axle so that hopefully you can protect your front wheel seals. We've got this on several of our machines. It's high quality, it's machined aluminum, I believe, and it's really, really nice product. I essentially destroyed the front end of Old Salty here when we were doing some brush work with it. So because of that, we splurged and we got 511 Designs front grill guard and these 2 side wings, one for each side. I think it looks pretty cool, but it adds a lot of protection. It's almost impossible to see when you've got the loader. It's easy to ram something right into your grill. I've never damaged the radiator, but others have. And so this is excellent protection, and it looks classy too. Again, 511designs.com. It's not specific to John Deere. He's got them for many, many brands and several different styles in the front. So highly recommend that. Use code TTWT for a discount there. This is a nice little switch replacement that reads the voltage of your machine, as well as has a USB plug. This is from boltonhooks.com. It easily fits into one of these empty switch locations on any of these little cab tractors, or even it would work on an open station tractor. It would be fine. Very inexpensive. Christy asked, why in the world do we need to read the voltage there? Well, that's just a bonus feature. The real value of this is the USB and USB-C ports right here at your fingertips that you can add to any machine. Tired of your door not staying open on your 3 or 4 series Deere tractor? boltonhooks.com has you covered. Very nice. And along with it, you get a nice little handle. Can you believe this door doesn't come with a handle? Well, it shouldn't have to, right? Because it doesn't stay open on its own until you get the bolt-on hooks handle. A large part of the versatility of this Deere 1 Series tractor is the easy ability to move back and forth between loader tasks and mower tasks. And I encourage you to take your mower off anytime you're not mowing. To that end, there's 2 products that I think are the most important to make that easy to deal with. One is the Load and Go product. That's the yellow brackets that you see right here on top of your mower deck. And that allows you to pick it up and move it with the loader so that you don't have to try to manhandle that thing. It's just too heavy for most of us to pick up and deal with. The Load and Go makes it easy to move wherever you want. Once you've got it picked up, it'd be nice to store it on end, wouldn't it? To that end, look at the deck stands from heavyhitch.com. Absolutely beautiful way to store that deck. You can just roll it around anywhere you want. This one fits 60 or 72-inch decks. It's got nice big caster rollers on it. So yeah, incredible product, and it allows you to store that mower in much less space than having it flat waste on the ground. While we're talking about storage, the loader dolly from deckdolly.com is perfect for your 120R loader. 2 pieces, both of them on wheels. You can lower that loader and then you can wheel it all over your shop, assuming you've got a nice smooth floor. And that is so handy. I have found it to be incredibly valuable. With some of these little accessories, it makes your tractor, well, it takes up less space overall, and it just makes your tractor a lot more versatile and a lot more handy to convert between one function and another. Now, one of the features I really like is the way the canopy works. The canopy's not on this one, but you can see it here. The canopy is from Artillian. This piece stays on the top of the ROPS, and then you can just easily set that canopy right down over that. And the canopy's a wonderful, wonderful addition to a tractor. Keeps you cool. It's shaded. It makes a huge amount of difference. I had no idea that it would improve the quality of my summertime tractoring as much as it does. But that's a very nice addition. Okay, so your tractor lover wants to really have some fun, right? Consider the Turbo Kit from Hydrosplus.com. It's a super fun DIY project because when you're done, you've got a much more powerful tractor and you've got something that you can brag about. Not many people have a turbo on their subcompact machine. This one really helps the machine. You have a lot more power, especially on the PTO. And even somewhat, the hydrostat feels more powerful. So yeah, this is highly worth it, but it's also just something really fun to have. Hydrosplus.com. Now there's a whole bunch of other products at Hydrosplus.com too. A lot of little hydraulic gizmos and attachments that we've shown on this channel. I'd encourage you to go check it out and see what else you might like there. Use code TTWT for a 5% discount. One example of those other gizmos is this oil cooler. What I have noticed, we put temperature gauges, which do not come on any of these tractors, but we added temperature gauge to our stock 1025R, and we found that the hydraulic oil runs hot, really hot, especially if you run the PTO and mower at the same time, rear PTO and mower at the same time. We find that it gets incredibly hot. So this oil cooler, see how huge this is? Compared to the really tiny one that comes on the tractor. Once we put this on, it doesn't matter what we try with the tractor, we cannot get the hydraulic oil overheated. Even Bo likes this one. Now this machine has the stock seat on it because it has a backhoe. But if you don't have a backhoe, there's a seat from Tracseats.com that we've shown. We've shown the installation of it. Works on 1023E, 1025, and 2025R. A huge improvement, okay? It's a wonderful, wonderful seat. To date, we don't have a bracket for it that allows it to be used with the backhoe, but yeah, I wish we did. But anyway, Tracseats.com, if you don't have the backhoe, and if you have any lower back issues, it will dramatically make them better. Yeah, the seat is just as nice. In fact, it is those fancy seats that come on the really high-end zero turns and other high-end machines. So very, very nice, well worth the money. I just need to figure out how to get a backhoe compatible bracket. Now guys, that's just a sampling of the accessories that we really like for these little tractors. We've tried to focus on the lower cost items. Each of these vendors that we've shown have additional products that we didn't feature today. So if you think you might be interested, check out their websites and see what else they have, right? Each of these vendors that we've talked about are reliable and have just been wonderful to work with from our standpoint. And so I would highly recommend them. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas season. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. No, the cat option is not available, Christy.
Aw. They can get their own cat, though.
Yeah.